Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be doing my April TBR. We have some very big readathons this month and I am ready to go. So I know it's been a minute. I keep saying I'm going to get back on track and then it doesn't happen, but pretty soon this school year will be over. So hopefully that will be the motivation I need to really get back into a routine. Not 100% sure, but I can only hope. I am going to be participating in the Orilium Magical Readathon. It is hosted by G at Book Roast. I'm gonna link everything you need down below. Definitely recommend this readathon if you haven't heard about it somehow. She puts in so much effort. So I'm going to do my own roles for my own TBR game and then move into the other books that I need for her prompt. This year for the readathon, we get to choose our calling, and I'm really hoping to be a necromancer. So I think I need to read 8 books for that. I'm gonna tell you if they go with any of these prompts as we go. We have 1 hit left on this orc. It has 3 hit points. And I rolled a 3. So up first in our roll is Sam. Sam is going to do technically a bonus action, but we're going to go ahead and just make it one of our actions. So I get to choose between To Best the Boys, Girls Made of Snow, or Mother Country. Alright, so let's roll a d20. Ooh, we got a 19, so that definitely hits. We have a d4, has 3 hit points left. Oh no. Or we got hit him for 2, so he has 1 hit point left, this orc. Okay, we almost killed the orc. Not quite. Hopefully this will be it, though, this next round. But I am actually going to go with To Best the Boys as my first book in April. This is one I have had on my TBR before. It seems like it's going to be almost kind of a throwback to that YA dystopian era with like Hunger Games and Divergent. It follows a world where the boys get to compete in a competition to go to university, and the girls don't. They just don't have the option. So one of the girls has been working for a cure for her mother for a long time and just isn't getting anywhere, so she decides to disguise herself as a boy and join the competition. It is also going to work for my readathon prompt. For the restoration class, we have to read a book about healers, and it may be a stretch, but the main character has been looking for a cure. Up next. Ooh, a 12. Okay, a 12 is my choice, and I am going to choose Sabriel. I usually do because I have the most books. We're going to use Giant Killer because I really need to get back into Wheel of Time. So I'm going to be reading Wheel of Time number 8 for Sabriel. She's going to roll her d20. Oh my gosh, not 1. Okay, book number 2 is my choice, and what a choice it is. I'm going to try and get back into Wheel of Time. I am really hoping to, I don't know, finish the series this year. Feels ambitious for some reason, even though I'm over halfway through. I am going to make as much progress as I can. So The Path of Daggers, book number 8, is going to officially be on my TBR. I have started it, but I have not got very far into it yet. And for the inscription class, we have to read an intimidating book. I think this definitely counts. While it is one of the shorter Wheel of Time books, they are all intimidating in my mind. Even just keeping up with the characters in the story is a lot. Okay, our third roll is a 1, which is Bartimaeus. Okay, so I think Bartimaeus is going to use his short bow. So that gives me Little House on the Prairie 3 or a Conspiracy Paper 1, which I don't really know what that is. He got a 17, so that hits, and he just needs to roll a 1, so no matter what. Oh, he got a 4. He went in for a little bit of an overkill. But this orc is gone. Book number 3. I am going to go with Little House on the Prairie. And technically I said Little House on the Prairie 3, but this is book 2, Farmer Boy. It follows Almanzo and his brother, and they live on a farm in New York. This character eventually becomes Laura Ingalls Wilder's husband in the series.
spoiler alert, I guess. But you just get to follow his life on the farm.
Bartimaeus is gonna go ahead and check out. Let's do the mirror. I'm gonna find Bartimaeus's perception check. Here we go. We have Alchemist number 2, which actually I've read. So Alchemist number 3 or Foundation number 1. Oof. I'll probably go with Alchemist number 3 because I really want to finish series. And Foundation is a big one to start, even though I really want to read it. The mirror was just in some boxes. I think this was flipped the wrong way. We should have found a small mirror in some boxes.
Okay, Bartimaeus got ruled twice in a row, so I'm going to work on making progress on another series. I actually just read the second book in March, and I'm hoping to read the third book. So this is the Alchemist series. It follows Nicholas Flamel as a character. It's by Michael Scott. It is a really good YA series. It's one I really enjoy. If you like mythology, there's a lot of references back to mythology. And so I'm going to read book 3, and that is The Sorceress. For a lore class, I have to read a mythological based book, and these definitely fall into that for sure. In fact, Ares was in the last book.
Which means we get to explore some more. 10 is Inej. Ooh, let's look at the blanket for Inej. Inej's perception check. We have a graphic novel called The Promise. That's the Avatar one. Or 2 little books, Flying Solo and Phantom Tollbooth. So all of these are going to be small. I'm probably just going to read The Promise. Okay, what's under this blankets? Oh no. Poison. So I'm going to make her and Sam do a dexterity saving throw. Alright, Inej gets a 3. Inej does not save. Sam doesn't either. 10 is not quite high enough. So they're both going to take 2d4. They both take 4 poison damage.
Okay, book number 5, I am going to actually pick a small book. Thank goodness a graphic novel came up because my stack is starting to get a little thick. I am going to be reading The Promise, Part 1. It's part of the Avatar graphic novel collection. I've heard good things about the second set of these, but my boyfriend actually read the first one. It's kind of meh about them. We both love the show, and so I'm still very interested, even if they're just okay. I feel like I'm going to enjoy reading them, and they are going to be just a nice breath of fresh air. And for my animal studies class, we actually have to read a quick read, and I think this definitely counts.
Okay. We have a 4 up next, and that means Minerva is going to come in and check out. We've had bad experiences with wall hangs, but we're going to look into it. Okay, so Minerva's perception check. We have The Tempest, Memoirs of a Geisha, and Grapes of Wrath. I think I'm going to do Memoirs of a Geisha. I've never read it. I haven't read any of these, but this is the one I'm probably most excited about from that list. Okay, let's see under this wall hang if we have anything. Oh. Mindful Touch. This is something Minerva has earned.
Okay, my classic. I can't seem to get through a month without any classics. And maybe that's a good thing because I do, and I don't even know. I feel like I've read so many classics and I'm still not sure how I feel about them as a whole. Maybe because there's such a wide variety. Anyway, the one I'm reading this month is Memoirs of a Geisha. This is one I've had on my shelves for a while, and I've always heard such good things about it. I've never seen the movie adaptation, never read this book, so I feel like I'm just kind of missing out a bit, and it's time. It's finally time to read this book, for sure. Again, not going to be part of my readathon, so that kind of hurts a bit, but I'm still excited to have this one on my list.
And Sam is going to go check that out. Sam's been busy today. We have Cain and Abel, Timeline, or Chasing Felicity. I don't really want to read any of these, I don't think, but I'm going to go probably with Timeline. Under the pile of bones we have Oh gosh. A season challenge. It's coming right at the end. So I only have one book left. I may be adding some books because I'm going to roll a D4. Oh my gosh, how lucky is that? I rolled a 1. Okay, so my next book has to be related to a season. It's a free choice book, so I guess that's all the rolling we're going to do for today. We've definitely cleared out this room, so we're going to be moving on to the next room.
Okay, I was not sure about this next one at all, but I am going to go with Timeline by Michael Crichton. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this one. I definitely recognize Michael Crichton's name, obviously, and it says that this has been made into a major motion picture, but couldn't tell you anything about it. It is going to count for my conjuration class because it says any source of light on the cover, and we have these like flaming arrows, I believe. So that crosses over for me, which is nice. This is probably the one I'm least sure about for some reason. Okay, my last book is a seasonal book for my seasonal challenge, and I definitely 100% cheated on this, but I am going to go with Series of Unfortunate Events number 5, The Austere Academy. If you look, it's a picture of them at school. And this is going to be a fall book because you go to school in the fall. And it feels very, it feels like a good choice because I'm starting my first year at the university in this Orilium Readathon. And I just, again, wanted a short read to throw in there. I've been wanting to get this on the list somewhere to keep going with this series. And so this seems like a good fit. For my spells and incantation class, and it is a short story, is In an Absent Dream. I have really loved that series so far. The first one I think just blew me away, and the second and third didn't quite hold up for me in a way that like it's hard to recreate the magic of a first good book. So, but I have really enjoyed them all, and it's a great short story series. For my shapeshifter class, I have to read a book that has a creature with claws on the cover. And I, again, am kind of taking the easy way out because I have some bigger books in this next one that I show you. But I'm going to read A Sloth's Guide to Taking It Easy. You can see those cute little claws. My favorite animal is sloths, and so I get a lot of sloth-related gifts for my birthday, and this was one of them that I haven't read for whatever reason, considering how short it is, but fail-safe tips for chilling is what it says. So that's going to be that book. The last book is for my demonology class, and I was kind of upset with myself for this one because I had to read a book with shadow in the title, and I have 8 books on my shelf with shadow in the title, and I've read all but my latest one. And so at first I was like, okay, I could do a reread, but none of them were ones I really wanted to reread, and most of them were pretty thick. One was a Wheel of Time book, one was a Throne of Glass book, so they weren't small books. The only one I haven't read was one I just recently bought like a weekend ago, and that is The Shadow of What Was Lost. And it just is the chunkiest book. It's giant. Look at that compared to the size of my head. It's huge. So I was a little mad that this is the only one that I haven't read, but I'm just gonna do my best and try and get through this book. This and A Wheel of Time just kind of seems like an obstacle for sure. But yeah, this is it. This is gonna be the last book that I read this month. I might try and get it on audiobook so I can help myself along, because I've heard good things, but it's just such a big book. Giant. So yeah, that is what I'm reading this month. I would love to know if you are doing the readathon, because I feel like a lot of people do this readathon. If you are, let me know what your calling is, because I want to see what other people are choosing. I chose necromancy because Sabrielle, my homegirl for this channel, she is a necromancer. That is her character, and I just felt like I had to go that route, you know? So let me know what you are reading, and I will see y'all later. Bye, friends.